What's up, feasters? Welcome back to another great episode of the Anime Feast. I'm Dominique, and with me, as always, are my co-host Tawan.
What up? What is do? What's do? What do you do?
What's
That's wow. That's all you got. That was your intro.
That was my intro.
Okay, and Matthew.
what up, everybody?
That
What's that do?
that
I don't
was.
have any cool quippy puns for today. I'm sorry, guys.
These are so sad.
Don't worry. I'll think of something by the end of that.
Just like Demon Slayer. And with me, we also have my beautiful wife, Cara.
Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
What up,
Bringing her
Kara?
on to the podcast this week as we are discussing one of her favorite animes. It's her top two. They flip between the two depending on what's going on. Um, but that's Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. Got Kara
Right
into
now, it's probably
anime.
say
What were you gonna say,
right
Tawan?
now. I was gonna say right now it's probably Attack on Titan because it's so
It's
good.
so crazy right now.
Well, again, we haven't watched any of the last part because we read it all and then we're waiting. She wants to wait till it's all complete and then we'll go through all of it, just like we had to do for Demon Slayer.
hmm
We had to
And
do.
and that's why.
Don't ask
And
about that.
on it. Oh man, I didn't mind doing like the easy grind for Demon Slayer because it's just such a beautiful show to watch, regardless.
Yeah, it shows you how much animation has grown over the past couple years just in watching the new Demon Slayer animation, One Piece, Attack on Titan. But it's just a great show to watch, especially when there's a good fight scene, which there are plenty this arc.
Because that affordable budget is out of this world.
You ain't
And
lying. And then I just did a quick research on the things for the manga. It's like I felt like the manga was a lot longer for the entertainment arc, which I'm looking at it. It's like almost 40 something chapters condensed into like 11 episodes. So
yeah,
You really think Matt? Oh, good.
I was gonna say that's always the one thing with anime compared to manga, and it is just that the manga is obviously the source material. There's a lot of information there. The animes can kind of be used to fill out some of the things we can't really see in the manga that would take the mangakas too long to illustrate, but I do hate that they still skip stuff half the time, and this is a clear example of one of those. As you guys know, with freaking Promise Neverland, it's like just a thing they do. They
oh,
skip so much stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, what did they skip from the manga and to the anime
for what, for the Demon Slayer? Or,
Demon
you're
for
talking
Slayer.
Demon
about, okay,
Slayer?
I was like, if you're
Demon
talking
Slayer.
about,
Yeah,
if you're talking about, it's like if you're
No,
talking
we're
about
not going
Promise
into that.
Neverland, we have a lot to discuss then. But that's Demon Slayer. See, I didn't reread the chapters because I literally just looked at the chapters, but it's like chapters 55 through 97. But I don't think it has my complaint of Tokyo Ghoul where they condense 12 episodes, 60 plus or like 70 chapters into 12 episodes. But
Mhm.
no, but when I watch, at least when I was watching season 2 of Demon Slayer, like the first couple episodes, they felt very rushed just to get to the fight scene. I'm not sure if you guys felt that or not.
I didn't. I felt like it was just the progression of the story. So you had their little training sequence, which doesn't take more than an episode. You have Tanjiro going to Rengoku's
Rengoku
dad's
schools.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking to his brother, talking to the dad. Like, I mean, and you also got to think like the animation, like those panels in a manga, that takes up one or two scenes. So that takes up 10, 15 minutes to really tell like an animated story.
I don't think it rushed to the fight in Entertainment District because I kind of feel like it took a little bit of time, honestly, to get to the fight. But it really also, once again, depends on what part of the season you really want to start at. Like for me, for us, we all watched the Mugen Train movie, so I didn't
Yep.
care to rewatch everything for it again. Like I think that part's purpose was just to get everybody a bit more drawn to Rengoku before obviously killing him off. Because when you see Mugen Train and it's your first introduction to Rengoku outside of like the quick meeting of the Hashiras when Tanjiro and them first went there, it was like, okay, who's this like fiery person? Pun intended. That's kind of what he is. and then you get him on Mugen Train, and it's really just like the whole umai, umai. It's like all you get from him, and then you get him, having a great fight, and that was it. So there was no real connection to Rengoku, but like what they did with this part of the anime made it seem like just a reason to get people drawn to him before killing him. So I didn't see his purpose for us, and so we didn't really care to watch it. We were always waiting for the actual Entertainment District arc to start. And for those of you listening, if you haven't understood where we're going right now, this week we are going to talk about Demon Slayer. As you all know, the season wrapped up last week. So we are here now just kind of discussing how it all went down. The Entertainment District was amazing. Like we were saying earlier, the animation style was fantastic. You can tell they put a lot of money in the budget for that. And if no one's told you before, we're live on YouTube. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that notification. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you are notified when we go live.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join us in chat, and let us know if you love. Like, everything we do right now is definitely out of love. Like, yes, we're being critiqued and everything, but like, no, but like at the end of the day, like I would 10 out of 10 recommend watching all Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Because I remember when Demon Slayer first came out, and Dom, I think you're the first one who's like, you're like the first one to tell us like, guys, you gotta watch this series because it is insane. I think you told me. I remember, at least this is in my mind. It reminded me like you're like, just wait until episode 8 and then you'll get hooked. It's like, why episode 8? But then when episode 8 hit, it's like, oh, that's why. When the spider, when you're first introduced to the spider guy.
It feels so long ago, like with the early stuff, because Demon Slayer's been out. It's not like, obviously it hasn't been out for long, but we're all One Piece watchers. So when I say long, I'm like, oh yeah, 1999, 2000, like it's been out long. But no, it's been out for a decent amount of time, and it feels so long ago.
Yeah, I remember I think it started around like when the pandemic first started. So I remember watching it, and I watched the first couple episodes and I hadn't even heard anything about it, but the hype around it really grew, and then you get more involved in the story. But it has been a fun journey to go on.
Absolutely.
But also the fact that we've been waiting for almost 2 years for the second season, year and a half, at least for what we hadn't seen already, because we saw the movie for Mugen Train early last year in 2021. So it has been a long time coming.
And I think that's where my only disappointment is with how short the season was compared to the first season. And the fact that we did spend the first 7 episodes kind of rewatching the movie. Like, personally, I would have rather them fleshed out the movie a bit more to give us that backstory and connection to the character versus kind of redoing that all in the second season, taking away from new story. Because now we have to wait another year or so for it to progress more. Like, I feel like we kind of got gypped on the length of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's, man, it's just, but I get it because they're just trying to make more money off it.
I just need every show to be like One Piece and just never stop. Like, I'm so used to that, and I feel like we've gotten used to that over the years with like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Kid to Kill Hitman Reborn, like any of the longer shows that went like over 100 episodes. I feel like over the course of my anime watching career has always just been continuous. And then I think My Hero was one of the first that really came into it where like you had to take a break because they would do it in seasons and iterations like that. And I'm just like, I don't want to have to wait. Like, I just maybe like a week or two, or take a month off.
I don't mind waiting at least, because then at least like what Demon Slayer Entertainment Arc District showed us, like the animation style and everything. Because the only thing I have about One Piece, like the pacing is so slow. But like I guess I have the problem of season 2 is like the pacing's a little bit too fast. I want it a little bit more drawn out. But
yeah, getting into the entertainment arc, I mean, it was pretty funny how it started. That we get to officially really meet Uzi Tengen, and he tried to abduct Ioi and run off with her, and Tanjiro jumps in out of nowhere and is in like kind of stopping it because he hears the screams as he's returning from his mission to going to Rengoku's dad. And I liked that when Tengen was kind of like, who's gonna stop me essentially. That out of nowhere, you see from left side and the right side, just the trio. You see Rengoku. You see Zenitsu and Inosuke kind of coming in like, we will, and it was kind of funny, just like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came running together to stop this man from abducting a little girl.
Yeah, and then when they do try to attack him at the same time, he just disappears and uses his ninja skills. And they're like, "What? Where'd he go?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna actually let you attack me." But if I do have to take someone, like, this is Demon Slayer, core higher up HQ. These are orders from them, so you're not gonna stop me. But I mean, if you're not gonna let me take them, then I'm gonna take you.
No, not even that. They volunteered. They were like, "We'll go instead."
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of interesting because but when you think about where they went, there would have been literally no purpose for Ioi going. Like, she would have done literally zero for them.
She was also going to take another girl.
I think he wanted the girls just because then he didn't have
easy.
to cross. He didn't have to cross dress the guys.
But she's not even really a demon slayer because she couldn't really do anything. So like she would have been less recon than Hina and them were.
Technically, she passed the demon slayer. What is it? The trial.
Yeah, and they're the ones that train Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro too. So
she trained them on hers. Wasn't breathing. What was hers?
I think it was stamina.
Really doesn't matter what hers was. That's not the important part.
Yeah. I was like, that's why we all remember it on top of our heads.
Yeah, that's why it's all right there for all of us. But yeah, I mean, getting into the district, it was those of you on YouTube, you can see it with Matt has all of the characters in their makeup. It was so interesting just to see that's how Tengen did all of their makeup, was just to make them the most hideously clad things ever.
He actually didn't do a bad job for a person. I mean,
it was terrible, Matt. Like, there was no one else that even looked close to that. But I mean, it's, I guess, to
cover
take away
their
from
boys,
them, like, looking like boys at all. But honestly, he could have just
left Inosuke how he is, to be perfectly honest.
Exactly.
It's the eyes, Inosuke's eyes,
and his face.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful face, and that's what that lady who bought him just knew. She was like, I knew there was a pretty face under all this ugly makeup.
But it's also hilarious seeing him like get caught because he's just like acting like a dude and like picking his nose and squatting. And she's like, I have to fix this girl.
That, and like, it's like Tengen told him not to speak. He's like, yeah, you can't do any falsetto at all. Like, just shut up. Just like, if somebody asks you a question, just nod your head yes, and you go do the task.
And then I love like Zenitsu's animosity towards Tengen, like, and it just shows. And they finally get him somewhere, and he's like playing the seti or guitar. They're like, wow, she really has a lot of passion. She must have been scoring some time in her life.
Wait, because he was the last pick, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was last.
The thing is, like, I will literally drop you off in a dumpster if I have to.
I did love that. It was like that Tengen had that god complex, like Zenitsu hated him for that, but then you had Inosuke kind of like, hey, god of whatever, I'm the god of the mountain. Like, being a god to a god was kind of like, again, that's why I love Inosuke. Dude's amazing.
But then Tengen was like, what are you talking about? Stop acting crazy. Like, like, you're a weirdo, aren't you? Oh, no, I'm the weirdo.
You got to do it flash. You got to be flashy. The flashy Hashira, the flashy shinobi.
Like Flashy Flash from One Punch Man? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Not going to acknowledge that.
Necessary silence.
Oh, man. But I mean, so from there, it was pretty simple with Demon Slayer. It was them seeking out the demon, because obviously Tengen told them the truth. He had 3 wives that were all there. They all went missing. He had, and they were hunting a demon who they know was there. So he just kind of needed them for recon to find the demon. And they broke into different houses, and lo and behold, who's the first to kind of find the demon? But Inosuke, like, he didn't find the demon, but I think he knew there was a demon present. Wow, Zenitsu was the first to actually run into the demon and get the shit broke out of him and then captured. But Inosuke was the first to like know there was a demon close, and that's when Inosuke kind of broke character and was just destroying the home he was in, looking forward in the walls and in the ground.
See, I thought Inosuke actually found it. Like he heard like the torture happen, and then I guess that's where I got confused because like I thought he saw her first, and that's when like the next morning him and Tanjiro were talking, and he's like, "Oh, uh, Zenitsu wasn't like." Tengen told them like Zenitsu's not probably gonna be here because I think he got captured. That part kind of a little confused me. But that's I think my only really complaints of this.
So I know that Inosuke was going through his house and cleaning and doing chores, and then he hears and senses something going
Mm-hmm.
on upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because it's
That's
in
where
an attic
Makio was
where it
being
was happening.
tortured.
Yeah. And then he's like, I feel it. And he goes up there and investigates, and he finds that they're hiding. And then he still does his like breathing sense where he can just feel throughout the building. And it's like, okay, it's moving here, and it's the belt that's wrapped around her.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
obi.
And he's following it, and that's where he starts destroying and goes out of character. And everyone's like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" And he ends up losing it, and then that's when he goes and talks to Tengen the next day about it, and Tanjiro.
Because we never really saw Zenitsu get captured. It was just like,
No.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Zenitsu, he ran into the chick because she like beat the little girl, and because
Mhm.
she was in her room,
Okay.
and he couldn't stand by that anymore. Like tried to stop her, yell at her, and she obviously smacked the shit out of him. And that was kind of like the last we saw of that. But he knew that she was a demon because he was sitting there like, I can hear, this is the sound of a demon. He knew it was a demon, and I think she caught on to that, and that was like he was captured.
Yeah, gotta take him out.
Didn't put
And
much of a
meanwhile,
fight.
okay.
He didn't put much of a fight just get captured.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
Zenitsu. It's the awake version of Zenitsu. Of course, he didn't put up a fight.
also it's crazy that Zenitsu for the majority of like the hardcore battle is just sleep and like still able to run and walk and just do everything, communicate everything. So
That's
it's
what
just
annoyed
like,
me. I was like, at this point, just make the dude awake. Like, he's talking, he's giving out, suggestions, orders to Inosuke mid-battle. Like, at this point, just make the dude awake.
like I was like, who's that dude from One Piece? He's like a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing, but
Cavendish?
No, not is it Cavendish?
Cavendish
But yeah.
is the one.
Oh
with,
yeah, when the
yeah.
demon comes out, yeah.
Yeah, and when he falls asleep, his demon mode comes.
So just badass versus crybaby.
Yeah. Even like that happened again in the training arc with them. Like Zenitsu's like training and he's like doesn't want to do all this stuff. He's like willing to go on missions now. But sometimes like he's just still sleeping running up the mountain. And it's just like what?
But I feel like he didn't have such like a big cry moment after the train arc that he did at the very end of the entertainment arc. Like he was just bawling his eyes out, asking Tanjiro why he hurt so bad. And it's like, not in like the train arc where he wasn't having that crybaby moment. Like he understood what had happened.
Yeah, he was only
Yeah.
crying because of like
Rengoku.
and Tanjiro Inosuke is crying because he wasn't actually like there.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Zenitsu.
Yeah.
Shut up! Stand up and train with me right now.
Yeah.
We're going training.
Training. Yeah, no, yeah. That's how I got it too.
As he's like dragging Tanjiro and like.
With Tanjiro's broken body. Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, that like, as we know, we're kind of getting straight to the point. I mean, they discovered that there was a demon, obviously, and I think my biggest thing for this little part before they actually engaged in the battle was that it never seemed originally like they were that far from each other. Maybe 2 or 3 houses over, 5 houses at max, and then all of a sudden something would be happening with Tanjiro and them, and you would see Tengen a whole 3 miles away for some reason, and you're like, where the fuck did you go, and how'd you get over there, and why are you over there?
On the
And it was
whole
like
other side of the city.
Yeah, it was consistently like he's way out of there, and you're like, why? Like what? And you could see how fast he would move, and we know he's a shinobi. We would see how fast he would go from one place to another. But then when the battle did start, when Tanjiro did first get into the battle with Daki, and then you see like Tengen can hear. I mean that's what he is. He's a sound Hashira, and the battle didn't happen from what would seem too far from him. and he had no idea what was going on. No idea anything was happening over there at all.
He literally said, "I could hear the battle going on," and then just did nothing about it.
Yeah. And
He's still investigating.
That part
I
of
think
that
he's
part
still
of
looking for his wives and
He's
waiting to
making
hear
sure.
from
I mean, he's making sure everything's okay. But when he said like, "Oh, I hear the battle going," I thought he was talking about Tanjiro and the demon.
Exactly.
No, then he was like, "Oh no, I'm underground." It's like, how do you hear underground better than you do on top? But that's
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Like, there was so many points throughout the battle scenes that I'd be like, where is he? Like, why? Where is he? Where's the Top Gun? Like, we're having all these like, kids fight the battle. Like, where is the Hashira at this point?
it's like,
Also, they've been doing these investigations for a while. The fact that like as soon as Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu come, like within like a week, it seemed like they found the demon that's been here for how many hundreds of years? 400 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Like plenty of Hashiras have come here, and like we still don't know who exactly the demon is. Like she's killed what? I think they said 10.
I never understood either how much she either like because before Daki and everything like because before like the reveal that she would you call it a second form or just somebody hiding inside her? But like
Oh, just her brother. I wouldn't even call it another form, but before the reveal of
Wait,
Gyutaro.
are you talking about her brother, or are you talking about when she got the belt completely to her? Because two things happened with Daki.
yeah,
Like she had her fighting, but then when the belt that was holding everyone got back to her, she powered up.
mm-hmm. I'm talking about like after when was Tengen cuts her head off. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
Gyutaro.
But like Gyutaro, yeah. But when Getaro said like he's like, oh yeah, she's beaten 7 Hashira and I've defeated like 15 or like was it 28? It's like how does she beat like 7 of them?
Yeah.
Like, cause to be honest, like if all the Hashiras were like Tengen, I mean, she stood 0 chance regardless. Or I guess before yeah. Sorry, I know I'm getting ahead a little bit.
No, it could easily be that she fought, Hashira similar to Shinobu. Because those are Hashiras who wouldn't be too difficult to kill for somebody like Daki. Like it wouldn't be out of this world because Shinobu's not strong enough to cut any of the demons' heads off. She's only good for poison. So like it would make sense that level of Hashira could be beat. Because which is crazy because Tengen is I think he was ranked a third or fourth like least strong Hashira.
Who was the weakest one, by the way? I'm
pretty sure it's Shinobu.
Yeah, I think Shinobu.
And I think it would be safe to assume that her poison would really have much of an effect because her brother is a part of her, and his whole thing is poison. So.
Yeah, Shinobu's the weakest Hashira.
That's one with the pink hair, right? Or is that the one?
No,
Yeah, that's the love one. Shinobu is the the butterfly chick, the one who saved when he was turning into a spider.
Okay, see, I don't think she's that weak. Well, because
she herself has admitted it. She herself has admitted that she is how weak she is. She says that she can that's why she has the weapon she has so she can inject poison into them with speed because she is not strong enough to cut a head off of any demon. She's admitted that. So yeah, her practice is poison.
I guess I just don't think she's the weakest Hashira just because like I like her too.
It's okay.
I don't want to admit that she's the weakest because I like her.
She's not listening,
Matt. No, she's not listening.
I think she'll be okay with what you're saying if she did.
Right, yeah. No, I'm trying to like whisper into the microphone. I don't.
Yeah, she can't hear you.
I mean, yeah, we were getting into the battle.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the battle scenes. Again, the animation was amazing, but it was again a lot of the bullshit of Tanjiro. In no way, shape, or form should he have been able to withstand a fight with Daiki like he did. Like I get the first fight when she didn't have her full power with the belt or with the sash, like she didn't have all of her strength, and they were fighting the sash underground. Zenitsu and Tengen, and somehow also 2 of Tengen's 3 wives. It was a whole bunch of craziness going down underground. Which also that sash was another demon, right?
Mm,
I
I
think it
don't
was just,
think
I don't think
so.
it's another demon. I think it was just a part of her.
Oh, because I remember it was
Yeah, it's
talking
just
like I need to get back and like I'm supposed to protect her or something like that.
yeah, I think it was just sentient. Like it's just a sentient part of her, but it's just another aspect of her because like once it joined her, it stopped talking for the most part. Other than like getting cut, like that was the only time it was really talking by itself. But I think it's just another entity of her, which isn't surprising, but like how her and Gyotaro had like an actual relationship and whatnot, like history before she became a demon, there was never that or any inkling of that. So I would just think that that's another part of her. Also, frustration
it
with the
says.
go,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Sorry, I was just gonna say frustration with like the battle is that we see like three of Tengen's like breathing techniques, and I'm like, why are they named different numbers if we're not gonna see more of them? I was a little upset about that.
I mean, he could easily be like Zenitsu. Zenitsu only mastered one of the four.
But
One.
his breathing technique was created by him. So he's
No,
the first.
No,
no,
no, no, no, that's
that is
late. That's
no.
late.
You are
Massive spoiler.
so far ahead.
That's
You
massive
are
spoiler.
so far ahead.
Oh, that's okay.
Thunderclap and Flash is the very first technique, and that's the only one he learned from the of the four lightning abilities.
Sorry,
Yep.
I was talking about Tengen. His breathing technique.
Yeah,
Oh, but okay. I guess we're still talking about things that happen later in the series.
Yeah, I don't know if he make the sound one.
Yeah, that's why I was reading that he created his own breathing technique, kind of like Inosuke. Like no one else has
Yeah,
beast breathing.
yeah, Inosuke absolutely. His beast breathing was his own.
But that's all I was saying. Like his attacks were, I think, fourth, fifth, and first. But I was like, if you're not going to show us all five of them, at least just call them 1, 2, and 3. Personal quarrel, not really any problem with
in
it.
case he fights later.
It's for us to know that there are more out there, but we just don't get to see all of them. You know, hey, I have a lot of abilities, but these are the best ones for this situation. Because for all the other breathing abilities could be something that's not battle related. Because again, Inosuke's one of his breathing techniques is just to hear further, so he can to detect.
True. All right, I'll give it to you.
Yep. With the scarf or whatever, the obi, it's its own independent thing from Daki's body. So I guess it's part of her that was just acting on its own. That's what the wiki says, at least.
Okay, so kind of like Timon says, it's like a sentient belt, sentient sash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Tanjiro fighting Daki before that, and kind of holding on, but holding up, but not at the same time. And then she got the power up, and I think at that point he should have got waxed immediately.
Exactly. That's what. And I know we'll talk about this eventually, but like characters who should not win fights. Here, this is another example of that. Like after her power. Oh, go ahead, Cara.
There was a lot of moments in the fight scenes where I was like, kind of calling bullshit on how some of them survived. Like, Inosuke, to be perfectly honest, should not have survived. And then him coming back with I know how to rearrange my organs in a split second. It's like,
Plot armor much?
I don't know about that. I think you're pulling that out of the hat at the last minute. But yeah, there was definitely some part, like, I mean, even Tengen, like, he stopped his heart to stop the poison from spreading, but was able to come back from that and keep fighting, and like have that really beautiful explosive battle between him and Gyotaro at the last battle scene. Like, some of that stuff I was like, this, you shouldn't be alive. Like, I'm glad you are, but you really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
For Tengen stopping his heart, I think that one I kind of justified.
Mm-hmm.
Because because he is a sound Hashira, so he can actually do that, and they've done that beforehand too. Like the other characters have done that to
Like,
stop their breathing. Like Tanjiro, like was it? I think Zenitsu actually stopped his breathing after he got poisoned to slow down the poison, so it wouldn't circulate through as fast. And
Right.
That's the difference. I see where Kara's going with this, because they were taught how to master that total concentration breathing to quench wounds or to slow down your pace, to slow down the spread of something. But to stop your heart completely, how do you restart it?
That.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like Hisoka.
Yeah. So I think that's the part where she's getting in, and I fully understand that because unless one of the wives snuck in there and started pounding on his chest, but they didn't even they were surprised when he came back, so it wasn't them. So I don't know. It was funny though. So just when Tengen, like kind of the Tengen fighting everyone and showing up to save Tanjiro at the end or the first time, and how quickly he cut off Daiki's head and was like, and she was screaming, and he was like, "You're too weak to be an upper moon." I loved everything about like that scene of things. She was like, "Huh?" And then her head just
because he went right over to Tanjiro. Was like, "Oh, you okay there?"
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and then he was taking.
He's like, you know, there's a demon right behind you, by the way. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I've already beat her. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Are you okay?"
And then she just starts bawling her eyes out and calling for her brother. And it's like, this is unfair. You can't do this to me. And then it's like, why isn't her head disappearing? Because honestly, I totally forgot about that, even though we read the manga. And then I was like, oh, yeah, her brother did live inside her body.
That was one of the best reveals right there is her screaming, screaming for her brother to like kind of end the episode. And then Gitoro comes out like that right there, dope as shit.
Yeah, because I remembered like her getting easily taken down by Tengen. I was like, what was like the real battle here? Because she went down pretty easily. I remember when he first appeared, and then I was like, oh yeah, her brother came out, and then started waxing that ass. So
he's no joke, and I don't see how Tanjiro ever thinks like he's helping out. He's like, oh, I'm gonna help out in this fight, and he's like, I can't see them fighting.
Oh, like, Mike. Speaking of, you know, I was going with that. Speaking of the can't see them fight, I think one of my favorite things about all of what happened was how we were watching the fights go down with the animation and everything. It looked like they were moving at the speed of sound. You couldn't see the speed of light. You couldn't see anything. You just saw flashes and bangs and all that stuff. They're moving at supersonic speeds. Then the scene where Hina shows up on the roof right before she sends those poisoned kunai shooting out, when she's looking at them, everyone is moving so goddamn slow.
Yeah.
It is the funny. Like if you weren't paying attention, go back and watch that episode. It is the funniest shit. Like because they make it seem like they're moving so fast, and then you watch her do it, and they're literally moving like a mile and a half per hour. It's the slowest swings, the slowest jumps, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening?
So the close-up fight's super intense, but back away, you're just like people like playing like.
It's honestly just the adrenaline going.
Yeah, step back a solid 20 feet and you'd be like, oh, these guys are barely moving.
It's like lightsaber fights with sticks kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, just don't hit me too hard with it.
Well, let's touch on Nezuko. Let's touch on Nezuko.
Oh yeah. It's crazy how little we've seen of Nezuko like throughout the whole series or throughout this whole season, not series, but and literally just until the fight comes up with the demon, that's the only time we see her. The only time like she really has relevance again.
Well, I think Nezuko's not really ever supposed to though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Tanjiro wants to keep her safe and protected, and obviously most of their journey is through the day and in the night when they fight the demons. But he wants to keep her protected, so she has to stay in the box. But obviously, when he gets hurt, she comes out the box.
How much demon blood did he actually, did Muzan give Nezuko?
I think he meant to kill her and she survived, right?
Yes.
And then he meant to kill her and she just survived, and therefore turned into a demon. So it wasn't even like he gave her blood. I guess some of his blood was just there. I don't know. He did she was not a purposeful demon.
Yeah. She had the Harry Potter treatment.
Which is
that's the only way to put it.
Which is why he was asking Daki specifically, like, kill her. Like, she's gone away from me. You know, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, if you do anything, kill Nezuko.
Those Komodo genes, y'all.
Yeah, and then she sees Tanjiro get hurt and then gets angry, Hulk mode, and
Hulk mode.
It's just funny that the superiority that Daki feels for Nezuko, and then it's like, oh yeah, took off her leg. She can't regenerate that fast. Boom, and then like honestly, we've seen that build up for a while since what Nezuko fought that girl with the balls that took her legs off and arms off and pieces like that.
Yeah.
That's when her regeneration really started to kick in and have like the speed of one of the upper moons.
Well, not necessarily though, because her regeneration didn't happen as quick as the one of the upper moons with that fight with the ball. She just kind of strengthened her leg to where it could withstand the kicks. As Daiki was saying with that though, she was like she shouldn't be able to regenerate like an upper moon, especially because of how new of a demon she is and how she doesn't have that much of Muzen's blood, but she was able to.
And also, like, she doesn't get any nutrition. Like, she literally sleeps to heal herself. And
yeah.
But that transformation though.
Yeah, that's what I was getting into, is because like I know Tuan kind of went Hulk mode, but we saw her like Hulk mode early on when she was about to kill Tanjiro, like, you know, episode 2. So like everyone's kind of had this whole debate around adult Nezuko and all of that. So like just kind of what are your thoughts on what they did with Nezuko turning her into like an adult version, or her transforming herself into an adult version, and then like her subsequent power up that came with it prior to obviously, you know, losing control and being put back to sleep?
I feel like it's making it more about, I mean, I'm not upset with it, but I feel like it's making it more around she can change her age, because when she gets small, she's more becoming a baby or a toddler rather than just a smaller version of herself. That's what it makes me think that they're doing with that. It was a little over sexualized. They had to give so much cleavage and whatnot. I'm not mad about it.
I love the Cara point. You're like, yes, you were correct, sir. No,
but it's that classic anime. They want to see more titties. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's a good part of the community, but it happens.
It happens. Yeah, like, but I think I'm still a little confused with like how she gets the power up so quickly. I know she's angry and she's trying to protect Tanjiro, but at the same time, I know she loses more of herself. She starts attacking more humans and like doesn't understand until he calms her down. But
I think that was a really important scene, because I guess up until this point, we as audience have had so much confidence in Nezuko's ability to resist that. And this was kind of the first, I guess, big breaking point for her of not being able to fight it, even with Tanjiro being there screaming in her ear. Like, she could not fight the urge to go after the humans that were there. Like, it took a step beyond that of, like, you know, tapping into like that, you know, lullaby that her mother used to sing to her. Like, it took an extra step to even get her to come down from that. So I think that was really important, because it was kind of the first time we saw her completely break and wasn't able to come back purely from Tanjiro talking to her.
Yeah, she really delved into that animal instinct. Like, she just became more feral, which makes her more powerful because she's you know, less likely to hinder herself so that she doesn't hurt someone, or that she follows what Tanjiro is teaching. She's just really falling into that animal demon instinct and just pure passion and rage.
I guess like the true demon insiders came out.
Yeah. It's like oh, you didn't watch Bleach, damn. But like Ichigo in his hollow form, like when he goes hollow form, like he gets exponentially more powerful, but he just loses control.
I seen that, and then like he ripped the mask off when he got the mask for the first time. Then he just like tore it off.
But it's kind of like small. It got to a point where he couldn't do that. Ichigo couldn't take the mask off himself.
Yeah.
Didn't Zaki actually knock it off him too?
No, he got like held down by. Oh, you're talking about Nezuko, but no, like Ichigo got to a point where somebody else had he had to get like jumped and held down until the mask taken off. But
you can go watch that fight with where
the Wizards.
Yeah,
Vizards.
Such a good scene.
Yeah,
it's kind of also like the Ron Longus from Black Clover. Sorry, just other references.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Langrus and the Finral stuff. Pull up on them.
Oh man, that was such.
But yeah, it's just, I think the demon blood has the inherent power, and it's an unlimited wealth of or like the Ring of Power from Lord of the Rings. Is like it just feeds you infinite power, but it's just how much of that power is going to corrupt your actual personality.
I strongly disagree with that thought.
But
I see where that
just because
thought's
of
coming
how
from,
many
though.
demons there actually are out there and how many are still just incredibly weak and can't do anything. And it was pretty much stated that you need more Muzan blood to get stronger, but he won't let
that
you
was the
get more
That's,
until you. He won't let you get more of his blood until you eat more humans. So, like, you get more power by eating more humans, but then you also
she
need
doesn't.
more Muzan blood to get really up there in power. But if your body can't take it, then you will just die. While Nezuko's just
That's
like,
what.
I got this little bit, but my Kamado blood will allow me to just all of a sudden be Upper Moon rank and fight with Upper Moon 6 by myself. What's
So,
up?
I think that's.
But
Like I said, like I
okay.
think she got the Harry Potter treatment. That's what. Like I survived this fight, so therefore I'm stronger. That's.
I don't know. I felt like it was like more of a Muzan way to control more of you, because like the demons that literally have the most blood, he can literally take down more easily because it's his blood running through them. But I mean, I feel like it was his blood was more of a catalyst than like the wealth of power or the well of power for her or any other demon. But that's my thought of.
As I say, Tanjiro can't sing worth shit, by the way, either.
Hey, he did enough with that lullaby to to have Nezuko tap into it being her mom singing to her, and then like you guys said, like Tawan said, which I fully agreed with that with the Nezuko thing, where I don't think the goal there was like to really sexualize Nezuko, but just to like show that she can be kid or adult, and like it kind of goes about different levels of her strength. Because after that, she did start crying and she did break down, and then she did go back into baby Nezuko. She went all the way back down to toddler mode, crying, whimpering, and was so small that Tanjiro just kind of folded her up, put her back in the box, and told her to sleep well.
I don't know.
And
It
then
could be
proceeded
like
to
a
go get the bricks beat off of him.
Night, night, Nezuko. Go to sleep.
night night
Why
Tanjiro.
don't you?
Yeah.
Was it? Was it? Oh man, I can't remember the actual lullaby song. Was it Moonlight something?
I couldn't tell you, Matt.
It's just
But
as memorable as it waves. But I remember the lullaby at least.
Yeah, Tamon was talking about anime titties. That's why they brought the three wives in.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. Two of them were annoying. One was actually useful. And then what was it? And I think that's all I have about the wives.
But yeah, go ahead, Tamon.
No, I was gonna say then I think move into Tanjiro thinking more about his breathing techniques and trying to improve that during this fight and unlocking his sun breather powers.
No, I think he had he trained for the sun breathing. Like he can use it like one. He said he can only use it once without like absolutely destroying himself, and then he proceeds to use it like 4 or 5 times eventually through the night.
Yeah, he knows that he can do both breathing techniques, but the sun one like hurts him. It's like I think of what it hurt him to do, but the water one was too weak.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So
that.
they combined them.
Yeah, that was like the whole premise there was he like if he was to do the water one, he could do it consistently, but it couldn't hold up to par with fighting these upper moon demons. If he did the sun one, he could do it, but then he wouldn't last long. It hurt him to do, and then it would like drain his strength.
He would have a fever, but he could do the sun technique better when he has a fever.
Correct.
But yeah, okay, that's right. But then he unlocked that scar on his forehead.
Yeah, that was
the
when
scar
he
on his
needed.
forehead was from an injury as a kid, but then he unlocks his full breathing technique ability where he was literally destroying Daki. And she could not keep up, couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it is interesting that it was a scar originally, and then it came into like the Hashi remark because as we'll learn later, like that's a thing. But
So, the mark of the chosen one, like
yeah, it was.
Of course.
Yeah, it's we so I mean pretty much at this point, guys, we need to finish out the full on battles they had. Like we got as we kind of dove into, we had what Tengen fighting Yotaro, and you had Daiki fighting Inosuke and Zenitsu, and at one point Tanjiro to help cut the head off the first time. Well, no, sorry, the second time, because Tengen cut her head off the first time. Yeah, Daiki's head got cut off like 3 or 4 times in this whole arc.
Yep, but then they find, hey, okay, we have to cut both of their heads off at the same time, or else this isn't going to work. So then it's the.
I still don't understand how that works, because there wasn't that. I mean, I know they're brother sister, but like, there's no like literal like link or thread between the two necks that we like. Oh, we are together.
That's my thought as well. They're 2 separate demons.
But they both share the Upper Moon 6 rank. So you can't kill just one part of the Upper Moon 6 and get rid of all up like the whole Upper Moon 6 rank.
Right. And why aren't all other Upper Moons like that too, or like they have more bodies than 2?
Exactly.
I think it's the way that they became demons, like the way he became a demon and was like, "Hey, I can bring back your sister," because didn't she already technically die? And then Mugen
was like,
"Hey,
barely alive."
Yeah, she never died. She never died.
Okay.
She was on the brink of death, and then Duma showed up and was like, "Hey, I could help." But we see that we see that pretty much at the end of the entire arc, and that's when we meet him. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it in the same sense that we saw on the Mugen Train. We saw that demon bond and combine with the train. So maybe the siblings found a way to connect to each other. That's in that same sense, so they could have a separate body but still be one actual body. Because we do see, is it pronounced Gyotaro? But we see like we see that at certain points he is like the actual main body, because we do see him have the ability to close one of his eyes and it comes onto the sister and also strengthens her in that way. And she was saying to him during the fight, "Why didn't you command me to do X, Y, or Z?" Like, when they were finally defeated. So he is like the actual main hub of control.
Yeah, they should have won that fight. I mean, of course. I mean, I love that our heroes actually win, but when they're sitting after when they do the destruction and like the whole like town or like the quarter of the town that they're in is completely underground, or not underground, but like gets destroyed, and they're just sitting on top and messing with Tanjiro. I mean, I guess it's just like classic villain things. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna just torture you because I can, not because I can just win this fight right here, right there."
Yeah, I agree, Matt. Like, glad the heroes won and everything, because obviously that's the whole point. However, logically, it makes absolute zero sense that they would survive and win that fight.
Yeah, that's where I was going back with that Tanjiro bullshit, because again, like, he, out of his second fight with Daiki was pretty much at his wit's end. He had done the flame technique so many times, the sun technique so many times that he was like, "I'm done. I can't really move my body. I can't do this." He had to like wrap the sword to his hand, like, because he was just that weak. And then when Tengen was fighting, he was somehow able to keep up once again. That made zero sense, because like he already was supposedly at the brink, at the end of his abilities. And then you got like you guys saying at that part where it did seem like, okay, the demons finally won, because Tengen's cut down. His heart's not going. His left arm is cut off. You've got Inosuke. We just saw Inosuke get stabbed through what we thought was the heart. We see Zenitsu crushed under a building and flailing to kind of get out, but is stuck in what is again the annoying sleepy Inosuke part, where it's like he sleep but Zenitsu, but like fully in control, and you're just kind of like, this is all stupid. And then, yeah, like I said, you got like the toying around. But I see the part there because it was part of them needing to find a reason to really connect Tanjiro and Nezuko to Daiki and Gitaro, because it was like they are the same, protecting their younger sisters in whatever way and how they need to do it. And if things would have gone different, Tanjiro could have been in the exact same situation. So it was like their way to to dumb it down to just being those four alive and explaining how it could be, how things could have gone different for either one of them. But and because I mean, after that, Yutaro did offer Tanjiro to be a demon. He was like, "I've grown attached to you in this scar. You should become a demon. Like, let me turn you into a demon, or I'll kill you and your sister right here." Which of course Tanjiro said, "Fuck that," and ran off. And another bullshit moment where he somehow was able to run away from an Upper Moon 6 while carrying his sister with a
After the
messed up leg
fights.
and arm and an exhausted fight while the demon is at full health.
And knew where the kunai was.
Yeah, tricked him enough to find that one random kunai, hide it in the scent of the other things he was throwing, and then have his normal than average human strength headbutt literally daze the demon.
So I thought the daze was because of the kunai, because he like headbutt him and like stabbed him at the same time.
It was both, because if he was just stabbed, nothing would really happen. Like if you just threw the kunai at him, he would it weakened him, but I don't understand how it weakened him enough to where a Tanjiro headbutt would then like daze him.
So I think it was the poison from the kunai that affected him.
Ooziness was from the poison.
Not from the headbutt.
But when he got poisoned the first time, he didn't get woozy. When he got poisoned the first time, when Hina did the thing, he didn't get woozy. He couldn't fight it. He couldn't regenerate as quickly because of the poison. He didn't get woozy because of it.
It just like delayed his like demon ability.
Correct.
Yeah.
The daze is 100% from the headbutt.
Yeah, because I guess if you're poisoned like that, and I guess you're like that, and then like you get headbutt. I mean, yeah, you're gonna be.
I guess it just weakens your overall defense. And like susceptibility to physical attacks, as well as limits your demon ability, which I think is like the reinforced strength and durability. So
I think the headbutt's still like one of the dumbest like moves you can possibly do. Like you're literally just bashing your own head against somebody else. And I know Tanjiro has a hard head and like hard skull, but like yes, if nobody else, like if let's say Gyutaro, like yes, he hit him hard and he's like, oh, that didn't really hurt me too much. Isn't the same for Tanjiro too? Like it didn't hurt him that much, or it hurt him more because he has a thicker head. I don't.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mindset was with this, because yes, I get that the poison could weaken him, but he's still a demon. Like, so his body naturally is more sturdy and strong than a human, and Tanjiro's headbutts are stronger than an average human, but to still be on the level of I can daze a slightly weakened Upper Moon kind of blew me away. I was like, this is again kind of horseshit. Not even just daze him. Yutaro fell on the ground, like was laying flat on the earth, and then had the whole sword from Tanjiro with one more last ditch effort, sun breathing technique.
Which he should never have been able to pull out his ass anyway.
But it didn't stop there. It kept going, and that once again gets me to like just my consistency with Tanjiro. But it led for a good final bout, because that next bout with Tengen finally getting up and using his chain link blades, his shinobi blades, is a last like fight with Gyutaro was amazing. Like that animation sequence, I pretty much saw everyone share that across social media every day for the following week.
It was a good fight. Like definitely one of the top fights I've ever seen. Like I don't know, there's something about seeing like a fight where you just see really good martial arts. It just makes you fall in love with anime fight scenes again.
Bless you, Don.
Because I'm like watching like a little like GIF right now of that fight scene where he's just swinging his blades. You see the explosions going wherever the other one's trying to synthesize, which I feel like is just a good, I don't know, antithesis to Tengen's blades as well. Like both opponents are fighting with two blades. It's just like, yeah.
Now, here's my question about the explosions that happened. We know Tengen's explosions were from him throwing the shinobi like bombs. When he was doing that originally, it was because he had two hands. One hand was swinging a blade, the other hand was throwing the bombs. So now that he has one hand, how the fuck is he swinging a blade and throwing bombs?
Maybe he puts them in his hand and then like toss them before you swing the blade. But then,
Yeah.
man, then it's like, how do you have the strength to throw that before you swing your blade?
Yeah. Yeah, where did this happen? He only has one hand now, so where's this dual ability coming from?
Yes.
I don't know, maybe he just throws them out of his bag, or maybe they're in like
How?
little compartments on his
How,
legs.
Sway?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, it just falls out of his bag in the right spot. I don't know.
Explain this to me in a way that makes
He
sense.
has some compartmental latch on his
put them all in
sword.
his mouth.
Okay.
And then as he's swinging, he's spitting them.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah. So then
Okay.
it's not exploding in his mouth. It's not like a pop rock or anything.
Right? No.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Explodes
right.
on impact. You know?
Okay. Yeah. This all totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm buying it.
Why not just say he hit them in the open wound in his arm in his cut off hand and was just
wait for that
no arm
time for
tossing.
his arm to get cut off to send them.
That's where they actually were. They were actually hidden in the cut off arm. I got it. I understand now.
Bombs are actually his blood, and he just like opens that wound.
Tengen actually has his own blood form, his own demon blood art, his own demon blood heart.
Yeah, it just acts like a gunpowder instead of like actual blood or fire. It just ignites on impact with metal. I don't know. However you want to spin it to make it work for yourself, Tom.
It's not gonna work for me. It made no sense. Yeah, this pretty much like kind of wrapped up the fight overall because this was the final sequence. I enjoyed the final sequence. You got Zenitsu made his way out of the rubble bullshit with Thundercap and Flash. Was it Godspeed?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Inosuke show up because this was my thing right here with the Zenitsu Inosuke thing right there. Zenitsu's going Godspeed. That is how fast he is moving. His most powerful and fastest form to try to cut off Daiki's head. She somehow was able to counter it and not counter it, but survive it, and was going to be drawn out long enough that when Zenitsu's legs tapped out, she would still be alive and she was going to finish him off. Inosuke comes out of nowhere and is like, I'm still here, obviously profusely bleeding out of his mask and everything, but
Poison spreading through his body.
Yeah, poison spreading through his body.
Organs moving.
But remember, Zenitsu's speed is his biggest feat. He is so fast that almost none of the demons can really keep up with him, especially in that mode. That's never been a thing for Inosuke. Inosuke is quick, he's fast, but he's not that fast. He's not normal Thunderclap and Flash speed, so he's definitely not Godspeed, speed. Or somehow he was able to catch up, not keep up, catch up with Godspeed to help out with that attack.
And then stay at that speed long enough to saw through Daki's neck.
Scarf neck.
Definitely a plot hole.
Yeah.
Just couple through this hole.
Because I love Inosuke, and my whole thing was like I wanted to rank him higher than Zenitsu, but people, I think the actual ranking was like Zenitsu is above Inosuke, and that was like because of that speed, like his speed was one of those reasons why. But seeing this happen, I'm like, if that's Zenitsu's fastest, and Inosuke's keeping up with that speed while injured, then bullshit.
It's some bullshit.
I don't know. It might have been clever positioning, but that really didn't work.
Come on, go ahead. Try. You.
No.
I tried it.
I was like, maybe he was like
I know you're
over here and he's coming towards him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on the direction that Zenitsu is going.
Okay.
You're fighting you're
Yeah,
trying to climb a really tall mountain with no gear.
You've been a very good devil's advocate this episode, but yeah, I'm at to stop you there. This one. Yeah. This
I don't
one.
really have a way to explain that one, but I feel like Inosuke would still be like technically stronger than Zenitsu because he just has more like variability in his techniques and more like opportunity to use his techniques better than Zenitsu. Other than speed, which you can only do so much in like attacking a villain or attacking a demon, but Inosuke can sense, change his body, move his muscles around, dislocate all of his joints, which is really weird, by the way. But
well, the whole organ thing I've already said, that's bullshit. Like, it shouldn't have happened. Like, that's one thing. But, I mean, yeah, variability is one thing, but, I mean, Zenitsu has mastered, like fully perfected that one breathing technique to where, in my opinion, when he does that shit, he's like OP as fuck.
I guess.
Man, I wish Zenitsu wasn't so annoying as a character.
Yeah, I
I
wish he
would
wasn't
like him
such a
more.
crybaby. Like, I wish it didn't take for him to be asleep to be that badass. Like, that's my only gripe about Zenitsu is it takes him being not conscious to be actually useful in a battle.
Yeah. Gosh, because he's got so much battle acuity when he's asleep. Like, he was like really taking charge of that battle, which was really interesting. Like, he's like, Tanjiro do this, Inosuke do this, we gotta do this. He's like coordinating like attacks. I was like, wow, just look how great you could be if you just quit being a bitch.
Yes.
But then they finally end up managing cutting her head off, and Tanjiro and Tengen end up cutting Gyotaro's head off. Both very satisfying moments, but they.
Yeah, I'll see like that. I knew that was like their official rank, but it just still made no sense. But I guess they said final chapter is why. Sorry, I was looking up their rank again because I remember that hearing their rank and that was Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke. But this is saying because of what happens in the final chapters. So
Oh yeah.
that's for much later.
Yeah. Just want to hint it, or he didn't mention it earlier in the podcast, but shh. Gotta wait for it animated because that part will be. I'm so excited for that part.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the rest of it to be animated. Like,
because like people think like this Entertainment District arc was good. It just gets better right now. Like,
Swordsmith Village is next, and that's going to be amazing.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one because I feel like when I was reading the manga, I got confused with a lot of stuff as far as like the battle scenes and the abilities of the different demons in that arc. So I think seeing it animated will kind of clear some things up because a lot of that stuff I got way confused in.
Yeah. It'd just be good to see it. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they battle the next two upper moons, if I remember correctly. Because I'm not.
If we want to talk a bit about what happens in the Swordsmith Village, there will be.
We'll do another episode.
I think there will actually be 3 demons we meet in the next one.
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I read that part.
Yeah.
We will.
The pot one.
We will meet the pot one. We will meet the small one. And then I believe we should meet Upper Moon 1.
See, I thought we met. Okay, it's been, like I said, it's been a while since. I thought we didn't meet Upper Moon 1 until the very final, but that's. But he's a whole different. Bag of tricks. He's a whole different bag of tricks. I'm just gonna keep. I'm just gonna.
Leave it there.
I guess my complaint for at the end of the fight, I wish somebody died. I guess I always wish that somebody dies anyway, but that's. I mean, because Tengen and then I don't know, I just hate Ex Machina. That's my big thing. Yo, Nezuko now has the power to heal all poison. Oh, when was that a thing? Why didn't she do that during the spider fight?
It's not all poison. Nezuko's burning abilities stops demon techniques. It stops demon things. It destroys demon things. It destroyed the demon rope that they use in Mugen Train. That was a demon rope. It stopped because it was like his blood or whatever in the rope, and this poison is technically demon blood poison from Gitoro. So it destroys those things.
It's burning demon blood.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then the spider webs as well. It took that out.
Yeah, so that is what she can do. Nezuko can stop other demon blood arts essentially.
She can burn demon blood.
I can still call it
in whatever form that it takes.
I can still call it though. I'm like, I don't know.
I think that I remembered that was gonna happen right before it did with the whole Tengen thing. So when Tengen's wives were all bitching and moaning, and he was kind of like, let me say my final words. Shut up. And I remember that that Tanjiro was like, why am I alive? And we knew it was because Nezuko. Well, I remember that it was because Nezuko's fire saved Tanjiro and got rid of the poison. And same thing for Inosuke. When Tengen was there, I was kind of like, oh, that's right. I remember that Nezuko's gonna set him on fire, and they're going to freak the fuck out. So when it happened, animated, oh, it was the best.
It's too soon to be cremating him.
It's just-
No, she saves me now. I
I
promise.
was like,
Because she just
You
like
should
appeared.
explain how your
I just
power
love-
works
I
before
guess
you
I love-
randomly use it on people.
Yeah, because Baby Nezuko, she appeared out of nowhere so fast.
Yeah.
It's like was all of a sudden there, and just held her hand up all cute and was like, and just set him on fire.
no, I love her face when that, and it's like, oh, such a serious moment too, and it's like, nope, Nezuko, baby face up there, just like, oh, I'm gonna do this now.
Yeah.
So freaking adorable.
I think what made me mad though, because I didn't remember this in the manga. When all of this happened, so pretty much very last episode, all of this stuff went down. Everyone's done. Sorry, before that, the episode before final episode, when they finally beat the brother and sister and then the demons, and we saw their head running, and then Tengen is screaming, "It's not over yet! Everybody run!" And then we see Gitoro's like last ditch effort, his blood sickles destroying the entire vicinity. And then the next episode, everybody survived. So kind of like what you were saying, Matt, where someone should have died. Right then and there, no shot. Everyone is weak. No one can move. What do you mean everyone survived this attack? Because we saw this attack slicing people earlier. So what do you mean everyone survived this?
I know that's.
But then after that happened and everyone got saved from Nezuko's, demon blood art, Obani, the snake demon slayer, the snake Hashira, he showed up.
He was like right there. Yeah.
And I was like, bitch.
He's like, if you've really been here the whole time, it's like, I'm just trying to touch your powers. Like, fuck off.
Yes, bro. I was like, no shot. You just showed up when the battle's over. No shot. You just decided, hey, you guys are all almost dead. Oh, I'm here now. Can I help?
He wasn't that strong.
Yeah, and then to insult Tengen like that, he was like,
what are you doing? Back?
You lost an eye, you lost an arm against the 6th ranked demon. Like, come on, what are you like? A lowly ranked 6? This should have been an easy wipe for you, bro. You suck it. What are you? You need to get better, and you need to get back out here. You need to keep fighting. And then he was like,
that's exactly that would be my response to Tengen too. He's like, just no, I'm good. I'm gonna be happy now.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm retiring. And he was like, what do you mean you're retiring? Nah, fam.
Who's gonna replace you? And he's like, oh, Tanjiro.
Yeah, he was like,
wait,
we lost
Tanjiro, that dude?
We lost
you. Mean that weakling?
Yeah, that was crazy. It made me so mad. I was like, fuck this dude.
Such an ass.
But you love him more.
And I was like, yeah, his backstory though. Oof.
I don't give a fuck. It is kind of sad though.
But yeah, I would call bullshit that he came at the last second and didn't even try and help with this demon. Like, or the town. He was like, there's innocence here still. Like, I know they're all evacuating, but
I guess Tengen's like backstory of all the Hashiras is really the most innocent and like least like actually like why are you actually a Hashira? Because he's really a Hashira because he's like, oh, I'm a ninja and I can do this also.
He wanted to not do the path that his father and brother were doing as shinobi, and found the head of the Demon Slayer corps and kind of like went down the Hashira path after that. But yeah, like I said, it's very innocent. Nothing about his backstory is. I mean, it is kind of tragic because in the shinobi village that he's from, like I think what they said, like 13 of them survived, but then like at the end it became just him and his brother. Like everyone died.
Yeah. He was the last left of his clan. But yeah, it doesn't have like an immediate connection to any other demons. Like, hey, I'm doing this for revenge because demons ruined my life, which every other Demon Slayer has, for the most part.
And the brother sister's backstory was. I guess I'm done with like ugly characters. I think it's more because of the One Punch Man guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like so like any ugly backstory. I'm just like yes, people hate you because you're ugly. Like I don't want to say get over it, but just get over it. It's like yes, and then he ruled the society for a little bit, and then he used his sister to help him not be such a, I guess, become more shitty of a person before he found the demon. But
Yeah, he was riding on his sister's coattail. He was like, "Oh, my sister's so beautiful. Let me not that like, hey, I have the beautiful sister," which is like you're showing her off kind of like your girlfriend or something. Like that's
I don't
just
think he
your
was
family.
doing that. He was just protecting her the whole time.
And I mean, they did live in the
They lived in the entertainment district.
where like
yeah,
beauty is the price of everything.
Yeah.
So
They were on the outskirts, and he was the ugly one, like ugly and scarred and sickly looking. So obviously, he was even more of an outcast. But then he found strength in the one sickle that he picked up from a dude who left it behind after a stay at one of the homes, and kind of found that as a way to fight. And once his sister came to be and was so beautiful, like he went on to protect her and grew up and was like kind of running the area because he could defend and protect, and was he found out that he was good at essentially killing. And then so he would like protect his sister. It wasn't really showing her off, it was just protecting her because obviously she was like the most beautiful around, but she was still a child. And when she became of age at 13, they were like trying to get her into the houses, and unfortunately she attacked the shinobi, and so they burned her ass alive. And then when he saw her in that burning ditch, when he returned from being away and tried to save her, he got also slashed from behind by that exact same shinobi because somebody else in the village paid it off because they were like, yeah, he's the one that's been attacking people or and doing XYZ, because he was pretty much like a mercenary. And they didn't like that either because obviously also because it was him. So then he was like, fuck that, got attacked from behind. They thought they had him beat, and he was like, nope, cut that shinobi clean in half, and then kill that lady first,
yeah,
real smooth, and then slice the shinobi in half.
Yeah,
that Shinobi was a dick anyway.
yeah, he deserved it. Or was it Shinobi? I thought it was Samurai.
Samurai.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah, I was saying
yeah,
shinobi.
yeah.
He's a samurai.
Yeah, yeah. We know who we're talking about.
Yeah. Was
We
saying
knew, but the
shinobi because
viewers might have known.
the Tengen stuff.
But sad, but avoidable backstory. I mean, they could have just died, but they did have just a shitty lot given to them at the beginning of their lives.
Yep. But I like that it introduced Doma at the end, who was upper rank 6 at the time, now upper rank 2. So
Oh yeah. Oh,
we'll get to learn more about him, which is
talking
pretty
about
cool.
God complexes, man. Jesus.
Yeah, God complex for sure with this guy. So it was overall Entertainment District was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Samurai District with us, Swordsmith Village would be even better.
So they'll do swordsman, then they'll probably do the Hashira training arc, right?
Yes,
I feel it'll be like next season, and then it'll be the final.
Yep.
So probably 4 more seasons.
Yep, that's how it should be. Swordsmith, Hashira training, final fight.
That final fight takes so long.
And then Asuka, he was like excited when they got summoned to the house. He's like,
Excited.
"Oh, one of the upper moons has died." Yeah, because he's like, "Oh, one of the upper moons had died."
He didn't look excited to me.
Oh, he looked like he was interested. Asuka, the upper rank 3.
Akaza upper rank 3. When he got there, he was like, if I'm summoned at the Infinity Castle, that must mean an upper rank has died. He didn't look excited because I mean,
he looked like it was an oh shit moment.
Yeah, it turned into like an oh shit moment, like because he knows that Muzan is not a fan of when demons die, especially stronger ranked demons. So I don't think he'd ever be happy to be summoned by Muzan because somebody died. Because that means just like what happened with the lower ranks, that means Muzan's about to be pissed.
Yeah, but I feel like because he's always excited to fight someone strong. So someone strong is finally coming along because this hasn't happened in centuries. Then upper moon 6 has died. So
I definitely feel you on that one, Twan, because I did he was like, oh shit, but at the same time I was like, oh, I wonder who it could be. It's like, oh, it's the person I fought beforehand. So this I can actually battle him again. Like this, he's actually gonna be worthy of a fight.
Akaza didn't fight Tengen. Akaza fought Rengoku and died.
No, but he fought Tanjiro like when Tanjiro threw the
he's
thing.
mad Tanjiro.
When he was running away during when Dawn was.
He's just
approaching.
talking about like he has an antipathy for Tanjiro because like he's calling him out. He's like, "Hey, you coward!" He's like, "I'm not a coward. I'm literally just running from the sun. Otherwise, I'd come in over there and kill you." But I think he's excited just so he can fight a stronger enemy because he was excited for fighting Rengoku because he's like actually giving him a challenge.
Fighting for the sake of fighting.
He's not. Akaza is not luck. He's not wanting to fight any and everything that looks strong.
Okay. That's the vibe I get from him. But
when he's inside the castle, but
the vibe I get is I'm fucked. We're all
well,
fucked.
it is good though because if you guys do remember what happens after the summoning is that we do get to see if they do it, we do get to meet all of the rest of the upper ranks. So we will get to see everybody else. And in this part, it is Akaza does challenge Doma in this part. So we got to remember that too. So we will at least get to see a little bit of that.
I'm so excited. Like I don't know, like the more upper demons are better than these. They're just better. They're just better overall characters in general, and also the fight scenes coming up too, man.
Gotcha.
I just want the fight. Same thing for the fights. Like from the wife's point of view, just like the slow moving swords. Just get that up close action.
If the animation is going to be anything like this district was, it's going to be great. These animation budgets are just out of this world, and I can't wait to see more breathing techniques, especially the Mist Hashira. He's gonna be cool. I like him. He's got a sad backstory too. I mean, they all do. Oh, and then we get to meet no, I don't want to spoil it. The other demon slayer who's not a demon slayer. The one that can turn demons.
You're talking about the Wind Demon Slayer's brother.
Yes.
Yeah, we met him.
Which
remember
one?
Matt? You remember at the
Genya.
What's it called? The course, the demon, like the course, whatever.
Yeah,
He's the one who grabbed the girl and was like, "I want a sword." Yeah.
Him. Yeah, I like him. Oh, I think where he does.
Yeah. Overall, I guess to give a final piece to the entertainment district, animation wise, especially the last couple of episodes, solid 10 out of 10. Story wise, I still think the entertainment district arc is like an 8. That's the rank I'm gonna give it.
It's weird because it's like one of the weaker sections, I believe. Yeah. But it's still very entertaining. But I don't know. I guess I'm tired of the bullshit parts where it's like, oh, everybody dies and then everybody comes out of the rubble. But that's literally the only complaint. That and the wives are very irrelevant. But they make in the opening and everything. They make them, at least in my opinion, they made them seem like very more important characters. But
I don't know. I'd say animation definitely a 10. Story, I felt like the story was kind of weak because there are a lot of plot holes. Yeah. So I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7. It still, makes me love the characters, but it's not really the most cohesive, especially the fact that as soon as they get there, they find the demons when he's had his wives there for months and they've still been looking. And it just seems too easy. And then at the end, the plot hole of that Snake Hashira coming and not doing anything. So, but overall, I'm still excited for the next season. What else is to come? Powers to be used.
What would you give it?
Probably like a 7 out of 10 for the story, just because again, I still feel gypped. I feel the first season was so long, and then we waited so long, and we're gypped on actual the length of the series. And I feel like they could have I don't know. Like, maybe they could have gone into the next arc and not just made it. Because I don't know. I feel like with what they gave us, maybe the entertainment arc wasn't enough for a full season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why they kind of made it all.
That's why they had like basically redid the train arc in episodes versus just keeping it as a movie because it wasn't.
Yeah, because
I
no,
think
like, just finding the demon should have been a little bit longer. Like they literally like went there overnight and it's like, oh, we found her. Now we fight.
I think the mistake was also making Mugen Train a movie. If Mugen Train was never a movie and you just let it be season 2, was Mugen Train and the Entertainment District arc, perfect.
Yeah.
But to have decided, hey, we're gonna make the next part of Demon Slayer into a movie, and then after that be like, we're also gonna make it this next part of the season, and then give you more of the season, like that was the mistake. If they would have never made it a movie and just let it be the second season, that would have been the way to go. Because I feel like if you're going to make something a movie, it should be additional information, or you just skip like whatever you're going to do. Make it a good part. So Mugen Train was good. If you're going to make it a movie, then make it the movie, and then start season 2 from Entertainment District. Don't add it in. But to make it a movie and part of the season was the mistake.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I don't think it should have been. It's a movie, and then you start season 2 somewhere. I think it should have never been a movie. But yes, Matt, money grab, absolutely.
Yeah, and honestly, like if you're doing it so that you're making sure that every single one of your audience knows the full story, like it's on your audience for not going and seeing the movie. To be perfectly honest, like whoever, I don't think no one who was super into Demon Slayer didn't go see the movie and then was like, I'm just gonna watch season 2 and we're just gonna go from there.
Also, like if you had access to the season 2, you had access to the movie.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, like just because it's on all the streaming platforms, so you're just trying to double dip at that point.
Yeah, so that's where I believe kind of brings it down for me. As far like obviously the animation 10 out of 10, but like as far as the content of it brings it down for me because I personally, I needed a lot more to carry me through this next lull until we get the next phase of Demon Slayer. Like it wasn't enough for me to feel satisfied in the coming, desert as far as Demon Slayer goes.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
Good to watch. But we have another movie to watch coming on the way, but that's for another day. Chapter 0.
Well, guys, that kind of wraps up this episode of the podcast. The Demon Slayer Entertainment District arc was overall entertaining. It had some misses, but we all enjoyed it. It's over now. On to the next. If you haven't watched it yet, go. Obviously, you got spoiled listening to this episode. But definitely go and watch it. If you have the opportunity, also read the next arc in the manga, so you'll get even more excited for it when it's animated. Because for all we know, it might be another year before we get to see it. Be sure to follow us on our social medias. We are on Instagram as The Anime Feast, on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. TikTok and YouTube as Anime Feast. So be sure to subscribe, follow, give us your thoughts on everything, give us your feedback. And until next time.
Stay hungry, my friends.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.